You tell me one athlete right now that's been dominating the game for 16 years straight without a loss. Tell me one.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Box Talk. It's time, it's time, it's time. The fight is signed, sealed. The press conference was there. They were face to face. Whoo! This fight for me has changed a lot from when the first was first announced to where it is now.
What means first announced?
When it was first
spoken about. Okay.
2009. Both fighters have changed. Some say for the good, some say for the bad. Some say they're more relaxed, they're more composed. I think they both aged a little bit, but in different terms. Whereas both clearly pound for pound top 5 in the world. Mayweather's number 1, maybe Pacquiao maybe 4. You know,
it's a bit high.
You can make. I'm trying to do that. I'm saying both number 1 and 2 at welterweight. Definitely, without a doubt. Yeah. They both had the potential to cause each other problems. The question is, who could capitalize their game plan faster? Who could stick to it, and who could adjust better?
Yeah, it's you're right. These styles do clash. You got Mayweather's the counter puncher, and over the years, everyone said, look, Mayweather's style will just pick off Pacquiao because he's reckless and he comes in. Problem is, Maidana showed that's not true.
Exactly.
The first Maidana fight with Mayweather, I hate when people say Mayweather took it easy. Regardless, Mayweather always trains hard for every fight. The first Maidana fight showed that maybe Mayweather's foot speed isn't what it used to be. Maybe his hand movement, his precise movement isn't good. Maidana, they said, threw 80 to 90 punches that round, went in. Pacquiao throws that for fun. I mean, that's sparring for Pacquiao. 80, 90 punches is sparring for Pacquiao.
When we lot of people that watch Mayweather, but Mayweather fans say that we're negative on Mayweather.
No, you're negative. They don't say me.
I'm not negative.
They don't say me.
I just try to be fair to what I see, and I've said previously that Mayweather's foot speed has slowed down a lot. He doesn't move fleet of foot as he used to. He seems to be more planting his feet more, and not only trading more, but willing to let 1 or 2 more go. Everyone said that he gave Cotto, he traded Cotto on purpose. No, it's because Cotto was all over him, and he had to fight back. Same thing with Maidana. And what it shows in this fight as well, with the Maidana fight, is that when you throw from weird angles, when you throw volume, when you put in pressure, it causes him problems. Yeah. Pacquiao is much more quicker, has power just like, no, maybe not as strong as Maidana.
Sorry? He doesn't have more power than Maidana?
Not sure. Maidana,
easily.
Maidana could punch. Maidana could punch. Let's give it credit. Pacquiao scored a knockout in 9 years. Sorry, 9 years, about 6 years since Miguel Cotto. Yeah. Yeah. So the Pacquiao scored a knockout in ages.
Pacquiao, but he put down Algeria like 10 times.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, if Mayweather's style, Pacquiao's style has more dimensions, more variety than a Maidana. Yeah. If you look at Cotto, who again is a very, very refined, very good Hall of Fame boxer as well, but he's not the type of athlete as Pacquiao. So you can see how Pacquiao will give Mayweather problems. You
can, but one thing remains is that what is the style to beat Mayweather? A lot of people seem to be, we say, oh, Maidana gave him problems, he did. Yeah. We say Cotto gave him problems, he did. I still have yet to see the style. The style that most people think is obviously the Castillo first fight. That was the fight that gave him the most problems, but then he adjusted and moved on. The thing for Mayweather that I think is key in this fight is that Mayweather adjusts. Yeah. We've seen it time and time again. The Mosley fight, when he got caught with the biggest right hand known to mankind. Yeah. Honestly, and his legs wobbled, went to the corner, calm, relaxed, adjust, and literally outbox Mosley for the rest of the fight. He can adjust in rounds.
Mayweather has that thing where he kind of breaks you down and pick out certain things, and that's what Mayweather does. That's what Mayweather does best. And when he adjusts and he starts getting relaxed and composed, that's where he's most dangerous. There was times in the Cotto fight, which I mentioned earlier on, and times in the Maidana fight, where he's sitting on the ropes and the punches are coming in thick and fast, and he's just relaxed. He's there. His face is tense, but he lands the cleaner, the sharper, the more telling blows.
One thing though that might play a key in this fight, and you look at Mayweather's last 6 or 7 opponents. You look at Robert Guerrero, slow, flat-footed. Cotto, one of my best fighters, but let's be honest, slow, flat-footed. Canelo, slow, flat-footed. Maidana, slow, flat-footed. Pacquiao,
truly athlete.
It's ridiculous, guys. You watch all the videos. This guy, okay, yes, Ryan. What Ryan said is right. His punch power has started to wane a bit, but one thing that hasn't waned is his foot speed and his hand speed. He is just—it's almost like you wind him up and let him go. Pacquiao, so Mayweather hasn't faced anyone with this kind of speed. I can't remember the last time he's actually faced someone that wasn't flat-footed. Even Victor Ortiz really was flat-footed. When was the last time he faced Mosley in that fight? A bit flat-footed. It's been a long time since you faced someone that has speed.
It has been a long time, but you know, the thing they say about speed in boxing is that timing beats speed.
It does.
And Mayweather, again, it's precision. We spoke to it previous time. It's like a laser, especially that right hand. When he lets it go straight, it's a laser.
But is it a laser against people that don't move? All those fighters I mentioned to you, not many of them have head movement. Yeah. Not many of them come in and bob and weave as Pacquiao does. I don't know if he's got a laser against someone that moves as constant as Pacquiao moves.
Pacquiao's movement is much more advanced than the fighters Mayweather's been fighting recently. Yeah. But Pacquiao's movement to me is still...
It's reckless.
Reckless, but it's also... Whereas he moves his feet well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets in well, but his head movement is kind of like... He's moving, it kind of gets under, but it's always kind of in the middle. Does that make sense?
No.
He moves in towards you, he moves his feet towards you, and he moves his head, but it's like the line of movement is not really slipping. It's kind of like there's always like a central place to tag him.
Okay.
And that's how Marquez tagged him. Pacquiao's coming in fast, he's coming in aggressive, he's moving, but you could kind of work out exactly where he's moving to. And that's strictly his upper body, not his lower body.
Yeah, yeah. And
that's what I'm trying to say, where it's like he's moving his head, but you kind of know what he's doing. His fighters are, again, let's be fair, look at Pacquiao's last 2 or 3 rounds, Algieri and
Rios.
They're not the type of guys that can capitalize on stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not experienced enough, or have the size or the power or the understanding of, like, you know, the highest level of boxing. Marquez does. Mayweather does. That's the problem.
Are we... Look, we're excited about this fight, very excited, but are we, again, almost glossing over the fact that since the Marquez loss, you're right, he's only really, we're talking Rios, no disrespect, Brandon Rios, and Algieri, because Algieri almost got a decision against what is very a limited Provodnikov. I mean, are we almost forgetting what Pacquiao's done in his last 3-4 years, which isn't much?
Now, yes and no. I've said again previously loads of times that I think Pacquiao's been highly undermotivated. Yeah, he's found God. He admitted he weren't the best husband and certain things. And he's kind of refined himself and kind of bring himself back. He's much more humbler. But you know, they say the best fighters are the guys that are unrefined, and Pacquiao's now become refined. He needs motivation to push into fights. Most times he's training the wildcard gym for like 8 to 10 weeks. Then he was training in Macau we trained not Macau. Philippines. Yeah, he's training in Philippines. Then he comes to wildcard gym for like 4 weeks or 5 weeks. It's like he's never really given the effort due to a full-time training camp. And Freddie was saying himself, Pacquiao's in great shape, he's in great shape. It would be better if he was in the wildcard, but he's over there with Boo Boy training. Boo Boy is Pacquiao's friend. They grew up together. They had the rough life together. So yes, it's cool to have him there, but Boo Boy is not Freddie Roach.
He's not a trainer either.
You get my point? So yes, Pacquiao has it for the best.
You think the fire is now lit on the belly now?
I definitely think the fire is lit on the belly. He's in the wildcard gym training right now. And as I mentioned last one, in boxing, apparently there was armed guards there to protect his training. So that tells me enough that it is serious. Okay.
Let's talk about sparring partners. Zab Judah, southpaw, speed-ish still.
For 4 rounds.
Yeah, it is Floyd Mayweather's chief sparring partner, so they say. Regondo is supposed to be Pacquiao's chief sparring partner. Who's got the better deal here?
Pacquiao.
Yeah?
Pacquiao by far. Okay, Rigo's is much smaller than Mayweather. Yeah. But if you're talking about someone that can understand boxing, understand the nuance.
What would you pay to see that sparring? Bloody, how good would that sparring be? Yeah. I'd pay a ticket to watch that. Yeah, that would be ridiculous. If that is the case, that's ridiculous.
And Rigo's one of the type of fighters that I think that he could emulate any style. Yeah. I think with all these 400+ amateur bouts, all these Olympic medals, his world champion medals, his Pan Am Game, all the medals he has in his trophy cabinet tells me he could do whatever he wants. Yes, sir. Yeah, he could work that out quite comfortably. So I think Pacquiao definitely got the better sparring partner in terms of skill. The size element, not too sure.
Yeah. One thing that's been talked about time and time again, as soon as this fight was mentioned, even before this fight was mentioned, was resume, legacy. We both know, look, we're multi-weight world champions, through the weights, you know, Hall of Famers. Who has the best resume? Mayweather or Pacquiao?
I just argued with one of my friends a couple of days ago, a good half-hour argument for about the resume of Pacquiao and Mayweather. In my opinion, I think Pacquiao has a better resume. Okay. Yeah? But my mate did point out to me saying that Pacquiao's got a better resume because he fought Barrera, Marquez, Eric Morales multiple times. Yeah, so it makes him look like he's fought more. But I'm saying that's testing yourself. And to me, in my record of how you list greatness, I think testing yourself is a big thing. I think Mayweather let himself short by picking his fighters a lot and pick how he controls his career. I think Mayweather made a big mistake himself by saying, I'm the best of my camp. I choose, I make the decisions. So that means when you chose certain fighters, it was your choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't really defend him on those terms. But let's be honest, if you want to go get a pen and paper and to mark them down, who fought the more Hall of Famers, who fought the more marquee names, Pacquiao most probably win, but I think it'd only be by maybe 2-3 people. It wouldn't be a drastic list.
Yeah, I agree, with, especially the point you made about Pacquiao fighting these guys multiple times. It's unlike anyone else. Pacquiao's not fighting them multiple times because he destroyed them or knocked them out. He's fighting them multiple times because they were close fights. People go and watch the Morales fight. Remember, Morales beat him, so that was almost like, okay, that was a fight we had to do again. The Marquez fight from the beginning was split decisions, and a lot of people thought there was a draw in there. Do you know what I mean? You had to do those again as well. Barrera, same thing. You only fight someone consecutively if it was a reason to fight. Almost like what Mayweather did with Maidana and Mayweather did with Castillo. Will you look at Pacquiao's resume and look at what he's done with regards to maybe fighting people at these catch weights? Cotto came down to 145 pounds. Oscar De La Hoya came down to 147. Oscar De La Hoya's not fought at welterweight for I don't know how many
about
years.
7 years.
Marguerite was like 150. These kind of awkward weights. Does that harm him in any way?
I consider myself a traditionalist in boxing. Where I prefer the 8 divisions. Now I'm trying to say I don't believe in catch weights really. I believe in catch weights rarely when you got like when it was Chad Dawson and Andre Ward. That should have been a catch weight. If they met in the middle, because one was undisputed lightweight champion, one was undisputed superweight champion. So that would be my only real reasoning for doing that. And I've said, even if I'm a Hopkins fan, I even say with Hopkins, I don't give him credit for some of the catchweight fights he had. Now I'm trying to say because it made no sense, because just fight at the weight class you can make. Either way. So Pacquiao does get a lot of discredit for that overall. But what I do like is that the willingness to try. So when again, him fighting Margarito. That's ridiculous. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm trying to say. So I understand the willingness to try, so I'll give him credit for that. Same time with catchweights, Mayweather's pulled a catchweight, or was supposed to fight Marquez at a catchweight, and then he pulled out the catchweight and came in really big. I thought that was a dodgy move on Mayweather's behalf. But again, it's the same type of thing. Whereas when you're at this level of fighting, sometimes you have to make concessions to get fights done.
So look, when you look at their fights, they've both fought what? I think 5 or 6 of the same common opponents.
Yeah, so, I haven't really checked on that one, but yeah.
Oscar De La Hoya, Hatton, Mosley, Marquez, Cotto. Who's performed better against those opponents?
Yeah, see, that's a funny one as well. It's a tricky one. Whereas you could say that Mayweather fought them first, most of them first. Yeah, in terms of Mosley, De La Hoya,
Hatton first.
So you could say that Pacquiao's fought in his seconds. And also you could also say that Mayweather went to punch with these type of guys. But that's not based on the fighters, that's based on the styles. Whereas Mayweather is a boxer, so he goes to points 12 rounds, he outclasses people. Whereas Pacquiao is a puncher, he tries to go for the stoppage and hurts them. So even though Pacquiao got the stoppage in most of those fights, it doesn't make it a better performance. You know, it's different styles of fights. Also you could say that Pacquiao had them second, like I said, so it's touch and go. Mayweather had better performances with obviously Marquez, but when you look at the Hatton, the Cotto, the De La Hoya, you have to say Pacquiao had the better performances. You know what I mean? Because he got the knockout, but Mayweather demoralised them. So it's different.
All right, this has got everyone talking. I'm going to ask you the $1 million question: who wins?
All right. When this was first talked about 2009, 2010, I thought Pacquiao does Mayweather handedly. Handedly? Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Handedly. I thought his style, his aggressiveness, his speed, the angles, and he was just camping in weight as well. So it's like he still had that little bit faster. Like he worked really.
Remember how good that Mayweather was 5 years ago as well, though.
I thought that's it. 2009, 2010, and I'm talking about the Pacquiaos that fought Cotto, the Pacquiaos that fought Hatton, that fought Margarito. Unfortunately, that Pacquiao is no longer around.
Why?
Pacquiao's changed. Pacquiao's changed. He's not the same type of fighter. And to beat Mayweather, I think he needs that type of style. Pacquiao needs to be aggressive, he needs to be fast, he needs to give angles, he needs to give just constant pressure, just relentless, reckless, crazy pressure to throw Mayweather off guard, similar to Madonna. I don't think Pacquiao could do that anymore. I think he could try to turn back the years, but he can't. Like I said, he ain't fought that way for about 4 years, and that's his problem. Mayweather, on the other hand, he's going to be under pressure because Mayweather didn't look particularly sharp in the Madonna fights, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Still won the fight, but one judge had the first fight, it's split decision. Or was it a majority decision? Majority decision. Which means if Madonna could touch you, Pacquiao is definitely going to touch you. I'm going for a win for Floyd Mayweather on points, possibly split. And the reason I'm saying possibly split, because didn't Canelo get a split as well, or majority?
Majority. Yeah.
So it shows Mayweather can be touched. The difference will be in this fight is that it will be quality of punching over quantity.
Okay. I don't want to put a down on everything, but I think we as fans are ridiculously excited, but I think we need to kind of open our eyes a bit and think maybe we're not going to see the spectacle we all think we're going to see. 5 years ago, like Ryan said, this would have been, honestly, to me, fight of the century. You know when you give those things those tags, it would have been that special, because you're right, you had this wrecking machine that was Pacquiao that I thought, literally, we watched the fights again, we had Cotto beating him, we said Cotto's going to beat him, he's too big. Oh, Hatton's too strong, body punches will beat him. Oh, Margarita's going to run through this little midget. Then times, and he just kept on disproving us. Can I just play for a second? Do you remember the night Pacquiao destroyed Hatton and we were sitting right here, about 25 of us, and walk up my baby son at the time. How crazy was that? We couldn't believe it. And that Pacquiao, people, would have given Mayweather, I don't necessarily agree with Mayweather saying it would have been beat Mayweather handily, but we would have seen a war. Because Mayweather had to do stuff that he never liked to do, which is get into a tear-up. Unfortunately, guys, whether you want to believe it or not, Pacquiao fans, and I've been going back and forth with this one, we even spoke about it at work, that Pacquiao doesn't exist anymore. You can't just turn it on and turn it off like that. Pacquiao's 37 now. So when he was doing that, it was 32. So he was in his prime as an athlete. Mayweather's not in his prime as an athlete as well. Mayweather doesn't need to be. He's almost like Hopkins. They control the rounds. They don't seem to want to fight that much unless you push them. Pacquiao can't push anymore like he used to. And if he does push, it's not coming with power anymore. We've seen that against Bradley. Yes, the Bradley fight, he really won, but let's be honest, it wasn't a great performance. The rematch wasn't a great performance. The Marquez fight wasn't a great performance. Brandon Rios fight wasn't that good a performance. And unfortunately, Algieri, well, let's be honest, who knew Algieri before Provodnikov? What I'm trying to say is that as much as I want to see the fight of the century, as much as I want to see two guys who are probably pound for pound, as you say, number 1 and number 5, number 1 and number 6, I don't think we're going to get it anymore. I think it's almost gone a bit. And I'm really upset by this. I was thinking Pacquiao would win. No chance. I've watched all in my head. I don't think Pacquiao has a chance in this fight, by the way.
No, he definitely got a chance. I
think Mayweather's going to pick him off constantly, and win a wide decision. I think this could be as good a performance as Mayweather against Canelo. I expect to see that good a performance. The scorecards might say it's close, but I see that performance.
Canelo's not the type of athlete of Pacquiao. Canelo doesn't even have the world type of experience. Look who Pacquiao's been in the ring with. Pacquiao's been in the ring with. How many? I've got time. Someone told me how many Hall of Famers has Pacquiao's been in the ring with.
What does that mean?
Great fighters that can actually understand the level of boxing we're talking about. This is why Pacquiao's going to pressure Mayweather early.
Early, of course he will. Everyone does early.
He's going to and Mayweather's going to take time to adjust. But Pacquiao is much better than Madonna. He's much better.
How do you know that? Sorry. How do you know? No. Based on recent performances, you can never say Pacquiao. So we said this before when we're doing the 147 fights. Every single 147 fighter on that side, i.e. top ranked side, I don't think can stand a chance against the 147 fighters on that side.
Okay.
And that's why I don't really, when you say Pacquiao's way above Maidana, I agree with you. But based on performances against Algieri and Rios, I can't say that.
And like I said, I put that down to motivation. But what I'm saying is right now, come on. I've gone for Mayweather as well.
But you're going.
But it's not going to be no walk in the park.
I don't think it's a walk in the park.
If fighters that are not as experienced, not as skillful, not as experienced and dedicated to the sport, i.e. Pacquiao was, i.e. like I said, those guys mentioned, I can see him putting a much better performance. Speed's going to be an element in this as well. Speed's going to be an element. Like I said, this is not controversial or trying to make it controversial, but like I said, judges don't even give Mayweather credit no more for what he does in the ring. It's going to be closer than you think.
I'll be shocked, people, if this is as close as we think. I just think Mayweather will just pick him off. And I'm not going to say embarrassingly, because it won't be that, but I just think Mayweather, it's taken me a time to adjust, but I now believe he is just that good.
No, he is that good.
And I feel like Pacquiao was that good. And I think we're almost getting conned into believing that we are seeing the Pacquiao of 2009, and I think people have got to watch recent performances and realise we're getting the Pacquiao of 2015, and it's not the same person. We're talking about a 6-year difference here, people. 6 years.
That's the reason why I chose Mayweather. And that's why I think Mayweather's going to win the fight. But it won't be easy. It will be something 7 rounds to 5.
What?
Something along those lines.
7 to 5.
Pacquiao will mostly win the first 3-4 rounds.
And then, I'll give you that.
And then pressure, the last round he'll be out but you got to stop him, you got to stop him. And he'll come out like a bat out of hell and rush and mostly win the 12th round.
At best, I'll give you, and just because I like you racing, just because me and you are friends, I'll give you 8-4. At best, I'll give you 8-4.
It'll be about 7-5, I reckon. And that's really why Pacquiao will win the first 3-4.
Pacquiao will win the first 3-4?
3-4 rounds, and then he'll win the 12th, most probably.
Pacquiao will win the first 3-4 of Mayweather?
Most probably. That's Mayweather's adjusting time. That's his adjusting time. It's the same thing always.
I think Mayweather adjust early. I really do. Could be wrong. Could be wrong, people. Look, guys, I could be wrong here. Maybe I'm just seeing this completely different wrong way. But I do think it's going to be that easy. But what do you think? Look, this is the fight of the century, they're calling it. We're not going to give it that tag. Are we? Fight of the century?
No. Fight of the decade.
Fight of the decade, yes. So the best fight in 5 years, isn't it?
Okay, 15 years.
Yeah, I'll give you it. Best fights in the 2000s. And we're kind of split. We're both going for Mayweather. I'm going for Mayweather quite wide. Ryan's going for Mayweather close. Don't be fooled, guys. I could change my mind before this. At work on Friday, I said I think Pacquiao wins this fight.
And I laughed at him.
And he laughed at me. Yeah. And then I went home and watched a few videos of him. So now I'm saying Mayweather wide. So look, that's what this fight is doing to a lot of people. Everyone's going, if Pacquiao wins, and it's not a big if, I'm exaggerating, it's not the big if, will we see the rematch in September?
Yeah, for sure. And now this fight is close.
Won't Mayweather retire? Do you think Mayweather will retire?
He's got one more fight in his contract. He'll be contractually obliged to make a fight.
Yeah. And will that rematch be bigger? If then this, can it even be bigger? Can it? Yeah. It will, won't it?
Yeah. If it was an early round knockout, it wouldn't be as big.
Oh my god!
If it was a late round knockout, where it was a competitive fight, and it was like wow, knockout round 9, it'll definitely be a rematch.
Can you imagine the world if Mayweather gets stopped in this fight? No. Have you thought about this? Can you imagine the world if Mayweather gets stopped?
I'll feel sorry for the Mayweather fans that email us and left messages saying that how he's the best fighter since sliced bread.
Since fighting existed.
Yeah. I mean, some of these Mayweather fans are bonkers, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's fans, isn't it, for you?
Yeah, no, we're all fans. We're all passionate, but you know, there's a limit. You know what I mean?
Okay, guys, look, what do you think? Mayweather Pacquiao should have happened in 2009. Should have happened in 2010. But hey, we are getting it in 2015. We can't complain. We're still getting it. Unfortunately, both guys are slightly off their prime, but regardless, they are number 1 and number 2 in their division. And like we have been saying recently, we don't seem to be getting very number 1s versus number 2s. So we are appreciated. Who wins this fight? We're going Mayweather. He's going Mayweather close. I'm going Mayweather wide. Like I said earlier in the video, I probably will change my mind in a couple of weeks. Don't change yours. Leave your comments below. Email us. Subscribe. Instagram, Twitter, all the usual. We're out.